Uh-oh. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Hello?
A gas station?
Hello.
Village Head reference? No? Hi.
No, we have a gas station here in Ohio called the Circle K.
Yeah, that's I believe what the reference is from.
Oh.
There we go. Hey, look, I think we're twitching already.
We aren't. Just having some audio issues, but I think they're worked out now. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well, woo?
Can you update my token, Casey?
I did update your token.
To the one that Athy made?
Oh, not to the one that... Athy, I didn't know you made one. All right, I will scramble to do that while we do the sound offs here. And so, welcome to Tyranny. Got a bunch of people. I'm going to introduce them in order here and give them a chance to say hi and what they want to say, if anything. Then I think we're going to have a wonderful summary by Joey to catch us up on what's been going on. And then Waverly has a bunch of information to share with you folks. So as far as the round robin goes, Chloe, our half-orc paladin-ish person, what would you like to say?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a paladin yet. I'm still getting in touch with God. So anyway, but, I missed our little mouse friend. She's been relaying information about our big hunt that we're going on. And aside from that, I really just, happy to be back here playing with you people again. I don't really have much else besides that. The stream has changed a little bit. Just like Casey says, every week something different because I can't let go.
Fair deal. So let's see here. After Chloe on my little list, I had Waverly, our glass rapier. Waverly, anything you'd like to say?
Nothing except just hello. Well, I'm glad to be back.
We missed you.
Oh, thank you.
Following that, our Dragon Rider Dusk. And
I've got no announcements to make, but
No one-
as usual, I'll be looking for drastic stunts to pull.
Fair enough. Behind that, our ever-glinting eyeglassed Dawn.
No particular announcements on my end, and he's going to continue to hide behind his sister.
Reasonable. And that's going to bring up Talaze, who's going to have a brand new token as soon as I get that done, which I'm scrambling to do. Talaze, anything you'd like to say?
Yes, hi guys. So I do a brand new token. I got this commissioned by the same person that did Dusk's wonderful token. Her name is Ashley. She goes by Simple Dog on Plurk. And if you want to check her out, she does have a commissions open. Her Dreamwidth page is bushyeyebrows.dreamwidth.org. And her commissions are open. So support her. She's fantastic.
Awesome. And that's going to bring us round to Valandra, our young cleric who does clobber. Valandra, anything you'd like to say?
Nope, nothing particular to contribute at the moment.
All right, we'll just make your role play a little later. And that brings us to Joey, who gets to do his shout out and then give us the recap of what's been going on. And I'm going to scramble to do tokens in the meantime. Take it away, Joey.
So I don't have any outside source shout outs. I just want to shout out to Jesse. Thanks for bringing back Waverly. Honestly, didn't realize how much we missed having a seventh person, which I never thought was possible until we missed a seventh person.
Oh,
So shout outs to being back.
That's such a nice thing to say. Thank you.
Without you
Everybody
around,
missed Waverly.
we have
We
no
all
idea
missed
how to
Waverly.
stealth without you. Like nothing.
Right.
And then kind of reflecting
My
on
giant
the
token.
list. Like
Sorry.
8 hours or so that we've been traveling. I mean, I woke up from getting beat down by a giant guy with a sword. We all went back to the keep. We licked our wounds effectively. And then we got suckered into chasing after a whole bunch of angry people that have a whole lot of gold. Escobar was very very keen in having all of us go after these cultists that took all of Greenest riches. Honestly, Joey can't tell if it's because they want the stuff back or if they just wanted us out of the town for good. It's fine. Send them after the cultists. They'll die. No problem. That seemed like Dawn and Telays and I in particular all had some reservations about doing so, but not enough to discourage a nice group building activity such as this. I also, Joey distinctly remembers Talise having kind of this will she, won't she interaction with Prisoner. No, we should, save him and help him out. No, we should throw dead bodies into him. No, we should clean him up. No, don't cut off his hands. And I think that's it's a very Talais way to look at it. Joey also gave back stuff. I swear, he's not trying to be a good guy. He's just, like, this is Greenest's shit, so you can have your shit back. Please stop thanking all of us.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah. There was a little antagonizing of Charity on the way back, which Joey was a little bit surprised Chloe would do. I don't think it was purposeful, though.
I wasn't antagonizing her. I was just saying goodbye. Then making sure she wasn't a bitch to anybody else.
And then we used Valindria's natural talents to be able to follow Waverly's path outside of town, in which we had one interaction with cultists who don't share well with kobolds, and they also don't respond well to loud, thundering, deafening sounds. They seem to get a little bit craftier though, as they pushed rocks down on top of us, and yet we still emerged relatively unscathed, if a little depleted. I distinctly remember another thunder boom. I remember the largest threat that was in front of me and threatening me exploding in divine light, and Dusk getting her chase on. And that kind of brings us to where we are now.
You got it. And where you are now is about 20 miles from the town of Greenest. You've been traveling primarily south, first through the grasslands of the green fields, and then into the drier plateau area where the grass gives way to a lot of clay and red stone. The plateaus rise several hundred feet in the air on occasion, more commonly 100 to 150 feet, with the pathways winding between them. Waverly's just rejoined you, bearing a well-crafted map and some intelligence. Waverly, if you'd like to share what you found.
All right. Oh. Wow, really well-timed siren outside my window. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
It's a weird bird.
Yep.
It sounds
Okay.
strange.
It's a very strange bird.
It's the alert coming from the camp. Apparently you were detected, but it'll fade, I'm sure.
Oh, is that all? Okay. All right. I live like 2 blocks from the police station. That's all. Okay. So about time you guys got here. Like, I've been waiting. But fine. Okay. So on this map we got this there's cultists that have set up their camp underneath the plateau over there. They're underneath the plateau. The plateau's about, I don't know, like 150 feet above them. On my map here, the X's are where they have their guard towers. One at the entrance to the hollow they've built in, and one on top of the plateau. All the little blobs are where the cultists are living in little huts. they're close together. They're wood or bone, and they're covered in hide and mud and sod. They're just really crude little houses. Some of them are bigger than others. There's about 9 groups of huts, and then there's a larger building towards the very back of the camp. I've been watching them all day. There've been stragglers coming in. They've all been taking off their masks and their clothes. So much for, disguising ourselves as cultists again, I guess. They've brought in some prisoners. They've brought them to work. There's a pen full of the drakes and, some dead bodies that I guess they've been feeding to the drakes. And they have somebody tied to a stake at the back of the camp, but I'm not really sure. I couldn't get close enough to see anything like who it was or anything. Anyway, there's about 100 or so kobolds. There's about 80 or so cultists and raiders, and I think there's 4 or 5 people in charge, but I haven't really seen them moving around. So they're staying put, whatever they're doing.
You say that they're making people work for them?
Yeah, they're mostly moving rocks around and trying to build up their defenses, I think. Like making walls and things.
Hmm.
Well, I'm more worried about the guard towers.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultists down there. So
Yeah, you said something like 80 cultists and over 100 kobolds. Is that right?
about that, yeah. That's my best guess.
I mean, we're great and all, but we're not that great, guys. Even if they're broken up into smaller groups, this would take us... I don't think we can do this. I mean, we're going to have to sneak in there. And this is coming from the person with mud boots. I'm not too good at the sneaking thing. I'm not really that great at the hitting thing yet either, but I'm working on it at least.
What will we be sneaking in there for?
Well, aren't we
Well, our
supposed to
main goal
rescue...
was to rescue the monk guy, right?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, Leosin.
I mean, that might be him tied up at the back of the camp, but I don't know.
I mean, it's worth checking out. Although, I'm pretty sure if some of us tried to sneak in, they'd notice quick. I don't think there are any tabaxi in their number, first of all.
Actually, on that note, as you start thinking about it, Waverly, could I get a perception and an insight for you?
Ooh.
Oh!
Waverly,
Interesting combination.
one of the
I can't
problems,
see over the grass today.
That's exactly it. One of the problems is you just can't really tell while hiding, aside from short and tall, and that's about all you were getting. So you're guessing they're kobolds, and then you're guessing they're cultists, basically, on how tall they are. But you didn't get a chance to really get an eye on what sort of races may or may not be represented. As far as the sneaking in goes, the guards don't seem to be doing a lot of checking names and faces. People are just sort of milling in and out. You might be able to sneak in if you look the part, but I'm not sure if you guys can look the part.
I mean, not to mention some of them know our faces. So there's
There
that
are a
problem
few.
to deal with.
Or at least our general size is in a group setting.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they've taken off their masks. We can't even hide behind masks.
Have
So,
all of them taken off their masks?
Most that Waverly saw had taken off their regalia, their robes, their dragon masks. Several of them were still somewhat disguised, but it seemed more of a war paint, mud spatter, things that rogues might do just to hide their identity rather than a formal dress. Rogues meaning scallywags, not the official rogue type.
Okay. How easy would it be to get up and get a vantage point onto the plateaus?
Ooh, to climb up that 100-foot or so plateau?
I got claws.
You do have claws. I think you could certainly do that. There is a bit of a guard tower up here, so you will need to be a little bit careful as you get up there. But you feel with your claws and your climbing, you could certainly make it up there.
Okay. Let's see. What is the construction on these towers like?
The towers themselves are rough timbers lashed together with rope. They're large enough for a few lookouts to kind of huddle up between the notches on top, but they're certainly not well constructed. They do give a fairly good vantage point, a good 20-foot high or so from the ground. So on the ground in the front, tower's about 20 foot. On top of the plateau, it's nearly 140 feet in the air.
I mean, they're flammable.
That's what I was about to say.
Might get some. It might draw some attention if we lit them on fire, but they are flammable.
I mean, think about it. If we distract them with some burning guard towers in the frenzy, we could probably sneak in fine.
But then there's the getting out again.
Well, I guess we gotta make sure it stays chaotic a while then.
What, just curious what this indicates. Is that like a drop in elevation or different terrain?
The darker green area down in this area is the lowest point. Up here, a rise of 20 to 30 feet to a second tier inside. Now, the plateau itself is broken into a horseshoe shape. So in time, this will wear through and be two separate plateaus. But at the moment, it's just sort of eaten away inside. So you have a low area and then a second tier.
The whiter areas, the higher point?
The whiter areas is the plateau itself, the highest point. Yep. And which way would you guys like to approach the area?
Oh, I know what I want to do.
Okay.
Which is, I'm starting
There's
to
no
realize
dragging
it's
around.
things nobody wants to hear. But if I can climb up there, I want to go around from the back and see who that person they've got tied up is.
Okay. So that would be approaching from the southeastern side.
Yeah.
Down in this area. What would everybody else like to do?
Wait, are we splitting the party now?
That's what I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, and I'm asking the rest of the people, like, are we, because that looks like a lot of climbing. We got two different approaches. I mean, from what it seems like to me, we can come at it like this and try and take out a guard tower and maybe the other one or something, or we can do what you were planning, which is like crawl up this way and tiptoe, or crawl all the way back around and climb up so no one can
If
see
we're
us.
going to climb, we should climb further away, I would think.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this side of the plateau is kind of a little shallower and it's steeper over on this side. Is that what's going on?
Correct. So over on this side, you have a little more gentle as it's more worn, as it's worn in this direction as well. Over here, it's a little bit of a steeper climb.
Once
besides the plateau.
once we're up on the highest area? Is it like relatively flat, or will we continually have like difficult terrain or climb checks throughout once we're up top?
The plateaus you've seen in the area are relatively flat on top. It tends to wear away a layer of rock. Probably not difficult terrain up there once you're up there. But Waverly's only 2.5 feet tall, and that plateau's 100 or so feet tall. So she really doesn't know what's up there. It's the scale of things.
Too short. I tried.
Also, so the towers are like you said 140 feet tall.
No. The one tower here is 20 feet tall.
Okay.
And this tower is on top of a 100-foot ledge, so it's 120 feet in the air.
So this
from the
tower
ground.
here would not be able to potentially see what's going on above it up here.
Most likely not.
But the other one might be, depending
Right.
on where they're looking.
You got it.
Because that one's on the on the tallest.
So if it's possible to climb up back here, then
Even, like,
it might be
behind-
better because it would the trees there would probably give us shelter from being spotted by those guys. It might be hard to hide our ascent if we start here and then walk all the way over.
Well, that's basically the conundrum. We come climbing up here, like the very closest to ours right now, and it's easier. But we have to go the long way around, and they might notice us. If we go up the back, it's much harder to climb, from my understanding, and we have less of a chance of being seen. I think
Maybe
But we
maybe
might not get up there at all.
maybe the people that are like good at stealth could come up here and go with like rope and then help the rest of us back here.
Because Dawn and Dusk could actually climb up there without a problem. But
It's everyone else that's gonna have an
yes,
issue.
but
As long as we set up the rope.
I forget. Did Waverly say how many people were in this guard tower? Were you able to?
Wasn't really able to suss out
yeah.
how many people per guard tower. 2 or
Because-
3 probably would fit in there. That's
Because Dawn
probably-
and Dusk could theoretically get up and try to take out the people in that tower, so everybody else could get up without, you
Well,
know.
I mean, if we're going for the easiest route, Dusk can get up there, tie something off over here, zip line down over there.
All right. I think honestly, maybe our best chance is to climb down this way if we've disabled this tower. Because there's 7 of us. Have we seen any non-human cultists?
You've seen the half dragons, obviously. You've seen the kobolds. You've seen some folks that would probably be half elf, half orc, but you didn't do a whole lot of inspecting as to how many. Tabaxi, you did not come across any, and no mouse folk.
Well, I can just come up with a disguise. That's not a problem.
How tall are most folk compared to the kobolds?
They could pass. Kobolds are usually in the 3.5 foot range, I think. No, actually, a little bit shorter. They're closer to mousefolk size. Mousefolk
Yeah.
are pretty tiny, though.
Yeah.
And Waverly's passed before.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I've been working on something.
Hmm.
Go on.
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh.
Just trust me, I got it covered. If I
That's
need
not how plans work. We need to know what's going on.
Agreed. And, on second thought, maybe dropping down here is really bad. Maybe if we take out this tower and then drop in this crevice, we'll pass through this inspection. We'll pass through most of the garbage. Maybe we can just fucking hug the wall and call it a day.
That might be a
Just-
really good plan, actually.
Because this looks like it has a nook
Yeah,
for us to be
leave-
able to climb down.
And we can leave ropes up with a little chance of them being spotted and stuff, so we have an escape route. Were we gonna rest before we did any of this to regain spells?
Okay, so as far as time goes, it's currently about 6 o'clock in the evening. Sunset coming in around 8 o'clock. So you've got about 2 hours of daylight dusk left before it starts getting dark.
If we took an 8-hour rest, we could be doing this around 4 o'clock in the morning, which would be a fantastic time to do this.
It's true.
It would put us in a time
Uh,
crunch.
Yeah.
A lot of people would be asleep at 4 o'clock.
Very groggy, very out of it. It's like the best time of the day to do any kind of infiltrating.
Although
what is
several
it?
of us, a few of us don't have dark vision.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to
Although
get into the
cast- Yeah.
specifics of when sunrise is, but
4 o'clock is dawn-ish.
That's a problem. We need not dawn.
4
yeah.
o'clock
Sorry,
is like
dawn.
4 o'clock is dark.
As somebody who's awake at 4 o'clock, pretty much most days of the week, it gets light within the hour. Unless we're talking
so-
I guess
fantasy world.
this is a question of what
Depends
latitude, are we
latitude
at?
it is.
So
Yeah.
fantasy world, we will say official sunrise is at 6. Hang on, where's it at? 6:05 a.m. The sun will be up at 6:05 a.m. You will have a little bit of that pre-dawn light from 5:30 to 6 o'clock or so. But if you were to take an 8-hour rest, you would have about an hour and a half of darkness to work with. And as you guys are giving consideration, we're going to say you have moved around to take a look at this side of the plateau. You do notice the plateau is eroded heavily. The walls and slopes have fallen several times over. There's a lot of little caves and dips and loose rock, so you could fairly easily secrete yourself among them for your rest and arrange it so you're unlikely to be discovered. The climb is going to be fairly easy, but will require at least a little bit of skill to get up there quietly. There's a good chance of falling stone, but not so much a chance of a falling you.
I don't like it.
As Dusk is demonstrating.
All right, well, we've spent a half an hour of a 2-hour game talking about this, so I really don't even care what we do anymore. Just somebody make a move.
Well, if you guys need to sleep, then we should probably take the long rest and do it in the morning. I mean, obviously, I'm fine, but the rest of you might.
So is that a long rest then?
I think it leaves us with too small of a window, but if we need, who needs a rest? Who needs a long rest to be
I do.
useful?
I do. All my spells. Well, I only have I can heal, and that's about it.
Well,
I mean, I could keep going, but a rest would be useful to get my other spells back.
well, I mean, my concern is, we're not trying to go loud here. We're trying to blend.
Yes, but if things go sideways,
Yeah, I mean, out of character, perhaps we wouldn't rest because it seems unnatural for us to blow our load and then come in and do that. But, I mean, if we need to rest, we need to rest.
It's gonna be it's gonna be tight though. Like we're gonna have to talk what we're doing during our rest, because hour and a half of darkness is gonna be rough.
I think Dusk herself might only take a short rest because that's all she needs, and she wants to keep an eye on the person in the back.
Okay. So if a long rest has been decided, someone please take the fate of the party in hand. Roll me a d20. You want to roll not a 1.
Not I. It's not going to be
I'm
me. Not this time.
okay. If we're doing a long rest, I'm gonna do prayer of healing first, just in case something happens in the night. That hopefully we can all be at max hit points.
Sure. Absolutely. Take the benefits of the prayer of healing.
So that is 16 healing
Do you get that plus,
for
or do you get the
everyone.
fancy plus in there? You do. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
got all the stuff in there.
you got
I
it.
will-
Everybody take your 16, and then who's doing that d20?
I'll do it. Not a 1.
That is not a 1. Good job. Now, Dusk, you mentioned that you were going to be staying on guard, on point. Are you attempting to do this from the top of the plateau, or are you doing this down where the caves are?
Probably from the top of the plateau because I'm seeing that there's some, at least towards the south east portion of it. There's like some grasses that she could possibly take cover in.
Sure. So let's go ahead and turn on the lights here.
Well, Dawn will argue with her. Be like, don't go up by yourself. That is stupid. Not even foolish. It's stupid.
What kind of when I survived the dragon?
All right, and you guys are about to be dragged up and to the right. Bump, bump.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, there's some foliage here.
Yeah, but you guys are actually down a little bit off the page to the right, except for Dusk, who has crept up. And Dusk, would you do me the kindness of rolling a stealth check?
Yep. That's a 16.
You got it. And that's not a 16, so all is well.
Phew.
So, you do spend the better part of the evening crouched in the short grass that grows atop the plateau, a couple of scrub and brushes around. You see the camp going from very chaotic, everybody sort of dragging in after the raid, everybody moving around, to calming down a bit, a little bit of drunken revelry, and then sort of spreading out. You notice that the kobolds primarily stay in the lower area, and those huts and shacks and tents are in much greater disrepair. Closer to you, up in this area, the tents and huts are a little better made. You can actually even see they've some of them got a little bit of a design to them, a dragon motif painted here and there. This largest tent, constantly guarded by at least 4 guards, changing off every few hours. Along with them, several of those snake-like drake creatures. The prisoners in the lower left area, having worked throughout the day, are finally taken into this large tent. And you can see the guard patrolling about, changing off every so often. Cultists and raiders spread out in the upper level. Most of them having made their way to the tents throughout the night. There is torchlight kept. Seems several of them do not have dark vision either. Much darker down in the kobold area. Very few lights down here. And that is how the night passes. Now, you do also notice that the guard towers change out about every 6 hours or so. And if you would be so kind as to roll me a d6, and that will be how many hours until the next guard change. So you probably want that to be fairly high.
Who's gonna do it?
Not me. I'm not doing these.
I just rolled a thing.
I can do it. 5.
All right. So a guard change has happened just an hour or so ago. And you know that it'll be a little while before the next one comes if they keep to the pattern that they set throughout the night. And the long rest passes. Everyone please take the benefits of the long rest. And then what are you guys doing?
Well, first we gotta get up there.
And if you guys are attempting to sneak up, please let me know if there's any special things that you'd like to tell me about your sneaking, and then go ahead and roll those stealth checks.
Is armor a minute or 10 minutes?
To Dawn and Doff?
Yeah.
Depends
on-
on the armor. Heavy or light?
Uh,
Or
Heavy
medium?
for
mud
me.
boots.
So are we all climbing together, or are the climbers going up first and sending down like a rope, or are we all just climbing?
I think it would be easier to just
Sending
send a
down
rope.
a rope would be
We should,
nice.
yeah, we should probably send down a rope for the people who are not as good at climbing. Or parkour.
Because Dawn could get up there, grab his sister, because she's the strong one, and down a rope. Because he doesn't need to roll to climb.
Okay. Anyone going up on their own, please roll me a stealth check. No modifiers, unless you get one. Going up with assistance, you get advantage. Anyone who's got that heavy armor problem, you might have advantage, but you might be back down to normal.
Yep. Which is better than disadvantage.
Which is better than disadvantage.
Oh, thank God for that advantage.
So
Climb, climb, climb.
Yee.
And do note we're on a very exaggerated scale. So your tokens are about 20 to 30 feet wide at the moment.
This is the biggest Waverly has ever felt in her life.
Up here, Waverly feels like a giant.
do I roll stealth too?
Yes. You went up, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Well, Landra, did you climb by yourself, or did you climb up the rope?
I climbed up the rope, which meant I didn't have disadvantage on my stealth
Okay.
check.
Gotcha.
All right. And you guys want at least one of these next two dice to be lower than, it looks like, a 9.
Well,
Yep.
Would he have
Ooh.
advantage?
Say it again.
I was gonna say, would Dawn have had advantage because he doesn't need to climb? Like he doesn't need to roll.
Dawn
Or
would,
the rope?
Dawn would not have had advantage because it would not have
Okay.
been being helped. But that's okay. Unfortunately, Valandra has made a bit of noise. So, noise has been made. You guys are quite a ways from the guard tower, about 200 feet or so. You're in the dark, as I'm assuming you did not light your torches at this point.
No.
Yeah.
So you hear a bit of, hey, did you hear something? It's just a coyote. Is there a coyote around? I don't know. You see that cat they brought in? Yeah, it's a big cat. I don't know.
The cat.
So you hear a bit of conversation as the guards are a little more alert, but you're still well outside of their range of sight. What are you guys doing?
Hold still for a couple minutes, guys. They'll go back. I've seen this before.
Everyone down in the grass.
Dawn's gonna send Edgar through as far as he can go, and just kind of see if he could find who they're looking for. I don't know if he's too far off from the sharing of the senses.
Okay. Well, he is well and away. He is a good
He can scout and then report back.
Yeah, he can look and report back. What do you know about Leosin? How would you describe him to Edgar to go find?
What does he know about Leos?
I gotta go back and look at my notes. So the thing is, all we know is that the choker that Dusk has will likely carry his scent, but that might not be useful to a bird because birds have an atrocious sense of smell. We have no description of him aside from the fact that he is a master of the way of the drunken master. Yeah.
I think he would recognize the markings on him, right? He had tattoos,
Oh
specific
yeah,
looking
the
tattoos.
tattoos.
He did have tattoos. He had tattoos of silver dragons on his wrists at least. So, that said, can I please have a perception check for Edgar as he looks about?
Get his sheet. Edgar. Check.
No pressure, Edgar, but everybody's holding on you.
Perception's wisdom, right?
Perception's wisdom, yes.
Oh wait, perception plus.
Nice.
Roll20's holding me suspense. Come on. Ooh, that's a good one. Yes. Edgar does make out that a half-elven man strapped to a post bearing silver markings on his wrists. He looks like he's been thoroughly beaten and bludgeoned, perhaps even dragged behind the horses and carts on his way back here. He looks terrible. Edgar would return and relay this information to you.
Apparently he's fairly close, but he's surrounded. And there is a good chance he is not going to be able to get himself out of there on his own accord. Edgar says he's incredibly wounded.
How much firelight is around in this cove immediately around the Ozen?
Around Leosin, it's enough that this area is dimly lit throughout. There are torches and guards posted. The most well guarded and lit is this large tent here.
Okay.
But there are torches posted about at least one every 40 feet or so that the dim light overlaps.
Well, I mean, we came here to get him out of there. He's got valuable information about how to defeat them all. It'd be a shame to lose him. Besides, it sounds like he's one of the only people that can fight and protect Greenest anyway.
No. Are these... The bindings are rope, I'm guessing?
Looks like rope and leather.
Rope and leather. Okay. Well, if there was ever a time to set something on fire...
It's probably not the good. Not the person who's tied to a stake.
No, not him. The guard tower distracts them. Because if Dusk is quick enough about it, because look at the position of the guard tower. It's just on the plateau, really close to where that heavily guarded tent is. It's really likely that a lot of folk are going to go over there to defend it, because whoever's in there is probably real important. And they're going to assume that whatever's burning the guard tower is probably going to go after this tent next.
Well, I thought that we left the burning the guard tower plan behind when we decided to go with the 4 a.m. plan, because more people, more chaos, that would have been better. But now it's burn the tower, everyone's on alert.
But that's the thing, though. If something in the middle of the night, everyone gets woken up.
They're
to a
half
tower on
asleep.
fire.
There will be so much chaos if we light that thing on fire.
Yeah, and like
Right now, like it would be less chaotic if they would already been wide awake, just settling down. But if they wake up and suddenly there's just people screaming, there's flames and smoke and all the chaos. Like,
And you
that's
said
gonna be
they
worse.
don't look like well made, right?
The tents and the towers, no. The towers are obviously erected within the last month at best, and certainly no engineer would want to put his name on it.
I mean, we could topple the whole thing off the edge on top of
And
it.
that's what I was about to say.
Oh,
Knock
let's
it
do
over.
that. Can we do that?
Can we knock it over?
Look-
Is it feasible to
God.
knock it over?
okay. So the monk is all by himself. He's obviously a target. They're trying to bait us. This is. I mean, he's all by himself. If they wanted to kill him, I mean, shit, they beat him half to death. If they wanted him dead, they would have killed him. This is a trap, and we got to get in there and get him out sneakily. I don't think we're not gonna best all these guys, sleeping or not. They're gonna wake up their comrades. It's the same thing that we do. I'd wake all of you up if I was getting attacked. Have we seen anybody come or go from there?
You have not seen anyone come or go from there. Not since you've been here, at least.
Have we heard anything come out of there? Like, or heard anything in there, rather?
Go ahead and give me, since you just got up to the top here, go ahead and give me, are you moving closer?
Well, I mean, no.
No. Go ahead and give me
I
a
mean-
perception at disadvantage then.
Yeah,
'cause
I
you're
guess
trying to hear around a corner.
I would have, as soon as I noticed it, if I noticed it before dust took off, I probably would have said, what the hell is that big cave-looking ominous thing? But okay. There's a
It's a
big
cave.
hole in the wall. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Dust could reasonably see it from her vantage point.
Oh yeah, you can
Could
see
send
it.
Edgar right down there.
It's the issue, though. It's like, what's...
Donna's just gonna sigh, sit down, and send the bird back down.
Nobody will suspect the bird.
Just gonna fly around a bit. If he could keep his eyes in there, he will. If not, he'll just send Edgar to see what he could see.
Okay.
Fly around a bit so he doesn't look like he's making a beeline for it. Then just kind of like glancing around.
Okay.
Maybe land, just peck at things.
Bird things.
Yeah,
Bird
casual,
things.
Casual Edgar, sure. Why not? So it is a fairly sizable cave. It's let's see here. It's about
Any of the light getting in there?
very little. Very little lights making in there, but you can see that further back in the cave, it is illuminated, and inside, several well-dressed cultists are standing guard. So that is a defended place. But the initial entrance to the cave, the first 20, 30 feet, just a big gaping black hole. Beyond that, you can see these cultists standing guard with torches further in. Though Edgar can't see much beyond that without getting a little too curious for casual Edgar.
But that's enough. It's not like an empty cave. That's what he was looking for. He'll flutter off again, make another loop, then head back over. And I'll just feel like, well, there's definitely something being guarded in that cave. It's not. The people in there are awake.
Probably the half dragon.
Have we seen anyone approach the prisoner?
No, the prisoner has been left alone. Though you arrived fairly late in the day. And give me a quick medicine check, if you would.
Okay. 18.
18. So looking him over from this distance in the dim light, from the way he's hanging, from the way his limbs are, it looks like he's been worked over hard and was probably unconscious for some time. So thinking on interviewing tactics that you might have used for cultists in a closet recently. He needs to rest up a bit before he can do anything intelligible. Any further attention would just result in him being unconscious.
Okay.
But no food, no water, no bandaging.
Eeh.
We gotta help him. We really gotta help him.
Okay, so even if whether or not we burn down said tower, are we still thinking about coming down this way and then trying to blend?
We would have to pass the cave where people can see. Might be harder to go down this way to avoid the cave. You just go right for him. But getting him, how are we going to get him up if we can't?
If we make a single bit of noise, they'll find us. They'll figure us out, and we'll be trapped.
But either way, regardless of how we decide to go down there, how are we getting him out?
I mean,
I would assume we would continue with the plan of dropping the ropes off in this corner and hauling his butt up, but that is a lot of
how
stuff.
are we gonna get him across? Yeah. Oh, not to mention how we're gonna get to him in the first place.
Well, if we're going to go with the rope idea, and we have where Dusk's standing right now, if we drop ropes down there and just have them waiting, and we manage to get past this guard tower, we could sneak around through here and go just straight up.
Just a moment, actually. How high is the cliff or the cliffs there?
So these cliff walls here, you've got about 60 or so feet. These cliffs over here are a little more sloped. It's about 60 feet up, but it's a little more gradual descent.
Okay. Just a moment. Let me look up a spell here.
Sure.
Yeah, and then while he's looking at that, if we go down this way, like we're not talking about sneaking and trying to like just quietly walk through. We're talking about like walking like we own the place.
Yeah, act like you belong there.
Because I don't
Absolutely.
think.
Pretend we're drunk.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all
Yeah.
been there. We can all figure it out.
What were you up to the last year?
A very good time.
That's the way to do it.
All right, so plan that I've heard so far, drop some ropes down in this area as a potential retreat. Drop a rope and make your way down over here. Walk through the place like you own it. Reach the prisoner and untie him quickly, and then head up the ropes. Is that the plan I heard?
Okay, so I'm looking. I'm okay. No, okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, never mind. I've have a spell called Air Jaunt, but it's not enough to hit the cliff face with him.
Okay. Now, as far as getting up the cliff face with a potential person in tow, there are 2 or 3 rather burly members of your party that could probably piggyback another person up a cliff with a little difficulty and probably a bit of noise. But just sizing him up versus most of you, he's a half elf. They're a little, scrawny.
And they're lighter than normal humans.
Sure, they are.
Especially when they're, emaciated and beaten to death.
Are we all going down, or should some of us be up here to provide cover for when you're climbing?
Someone
It'll
should
be wide
That's
open.
a very good idea.
That's a very good idea.
Because Dawn will offer to stay up, and maybe Waverly.
Well, if we're going with the
Or till
plan
late.
of walking in like we own the place. I hate splitting the party, but we should have possible rescue plan in place in case it goes badly.
Great.
Okay.
Who's
And so what I'm gonna say is you've got about 3 more minutes before things start happening. But is there anything that's happening to this guard tower as a plan right now?
No.
I'm really disappointed, but I guess.
So
Wanted
could
to
you
skip it over?
could you please start moving yourselves into teams? Team walk like you own the place. Please move yourself up into this area here. Team cover fire. Please move yourself to where you would like to be.
Waverly would really like to go with team walk like you own the place, though.
Hey, I mean, she's stealthy. If we could create a distraction, Waverly could get in and,
Dusk,
untie
are you
some
going
people.
down?
I think
Dusk is going down, right?
I feel like she is.
Okay.
She's been keeping an eye out. Do you think she would have noticed to see if there were any tabaxi she could have like blended in with?
So give me a perception on that one.
Okay. Where is it? Here it is.
Also, real quick. No, never mind. Finish that first.
Yep. So no, you did not notice any tabaxi. There were certainly a number of tall enough folk that there could be some tabaxi in there, but a lot of folk are still wearing hoods and moving about in the tents. So you didn't happen to catch any definitive sightings. Could have been a dragonborn, could have been a tabaxi, could have been a half orc, could have been a tiefling with weird horns. Who knows?
Well, in that case, Dust is probably gonna don one of the cloaks just to be safe, and join the group going down.
Okay.
So are we just having Dawn being our backup?
So
I'd say the people
if
who
you
are
start
able to
drawing
fight-
people, he could provide cover fire while you're climbing if you get noticed.
I'm
Is
saying that
what the goal is.
Dust unfortunately does not have any ranged attacks, so she would be useless waiting up at the top.
I'm gonna point out one thing. We don't know where the greenest stuff is, which is why we got put to come here, and kind of interested in what's in this cave. Because if they're if it's worth guarding, it's worth us looking into.
That's legit. That's legit.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get him and get out because otherwise we're going to die.
I mean, I'm interested in the cave too. Don't get me wrong, but loot is not why we were sent here.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see
It's
how it
only
goes.
about 25.7 people for each of us. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal at all.
All right. So,
Well, Waverly is going to cast Disguise Self.
Ooh.
Surprise!
Ooh.
Make herself look like a kobold.
Somebody suddenly looks koboldy. Well done. All right.
And
a
Selace is also
properly
going to
sized
be.
kobold too.
Selace is going to use her disguise kit and disguise herself. Well, I think we used performance for that last time.
Yes, please.
Said performance, not persuasion, right?
Oh God, I don't know how I clicked that.
That's all right.
I'm really sure that I clicked performance, but
There we go.
it's about the same.
Similar. So, if team walk like you could own the place, would please roll me a stealth check. You have advantage unless you've got that heavy armor thing, and that is getting down without falling down.
We're using ropes, aren't we?
You're using ropes. It's just even if you slid down, you wouldn't take damage, but you'd make a lot of noise.
So the rest of us are donning the cloaks and whatnots, yeah?
Oh no.
Jesus,
I'm very still.
We can't roll worse shit today.
Oh, good gods. And
Oh,
Dust
they roll worse.
All right. So setting the bar at a 7.
Oh God.
Whoa! Wait a second. What happened there?
Oh God.
Zero!
They've been drinking.
Wait. What do you? How does
How does that possible?
Oh God.
She
No.
rolled a 1. She rolled a 1 with the -1, but that's okay. Sin, were you wearing, or Chloe, were you wearing heavy armor?
I would not take off my armor. I mean, I want to say no because that's terrible, but I would not take off my armor.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So,
Well, this plan's dead. Oh,
So-
God.
I mean, if we could act like we owed the place and we're drunk, maybe not.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe I just
probably,
rolled
but-
the best drunk roll ever.
that,
All right.
that could be what happens because you do hear a little snoring and then a startle as the guards managed to pull off a 2 on their perception, but you woke them up from their pleasant
God.
dreams up there. You're, oh, what was that?
So as soon as everything happens and we notice that Chloe's made a huge loud noise, Talay starts laughing and goes over and picks her up. And it's like, darling, you've been drinking far too much. What are you doing trying to climb these walls? That's ridiculous. I am so drunk right now.
All right.
And like everyone get in it.
As laughter erupts, you see light and a torch waving as 2 of the guardsmen come down out of the tower, lean out over and try and cast light in your direction. You guys are now all at the bottom of the set, and I'm thinking
we're all, like,
maybe
right
that's
here?
a deception. You're all up in this area right here. Yep. I'm thinking that's maybe a deception.
Okay.
Now, out of curiosity, does anyone happen to have alcohol on them?
Yes, we stole it from the last meal.
Dusk has got booze. Yeah. Dusk has got it.
All right. So let's see that deception.
Oh, God.
Yes!
Nice.
Right.
Yes! Bard rolls! Bard rolls!
Oh my god.
All right. Anybody else getting in on the deception attempt?
Oh, that's
I think it's probably better if I don't.
All right.
I would rather roll performance. But...
And can I, oh God, I was going to say, can I help somebody? Because I'm the one who's projecting and performing, especially like directly to Chloe, who's probably on the ground at this
Can
point.
I ever roll anything but a single digit in this freaking game? I swear to God.
So what you guys need to do is you need to beat the 3 rolls. So you've got 2 19s and a 9 so far. And they'll match the most to your favor possible. So you need at least one of these to be an 8.
Oh God.
You
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, thank
deceive
God.
them.
Oh,
They start. They look down at you. They hear you all laughing. They're like, "Oh, can't believe my shift's 5 more hours. Look at them. They're just. Oh, look at them." So they seem fairly pleased with the cascade of drunken revelers down below. Come on, get away from the walls. You know better.
sorry. And I like help Chloe. Like I like sling her arm over my shoulder, and I'm like urging her to lean against me. It's like, all right, darling, let's get you to sleep. Oh, it's been a day.
What's going on down there? I don't know, but somebody's gonna have a great night. But so that happens. And if I could ask Joey and Dawn, as they are hanging out above the caves there, just to give me a stealth check as well as you get in position. No one is actively looking for you right now, but I need to know what the bar is set at.
Well, I'm gonna have Edgar perched there and
Yep.
he's gonna sit back a bit.
Yeah, I'll be
Like-
kind of laying down here in this spot.
Yeah,
Fair enough. And
here's the lookout point. Where is my thing?
Nice.
good job, guys. So as the group of Walk Like You Own the Place makes their way through the camp, please start going ahead and move along. In the different tents, you overhear snippets of conversation. Of course, the most oft-used refrain, praise Tiamat's glory. But it sounds like everybody's basically, trying to just sleep off the wounds and stress of a successful raid.
Just making our way through.
Just making your way through. Go on ahead.
Nothing to
Well,
see here.
Nothing
You
to
said that
see
there were
here.
Couple
Now,
prisoners.
cultists and a
hang on.
kobold.
Pause right there as you guys start straying in different directions.
Dusk, where are you going?
Where are you
Where
going,
are you
Dust?
Dusk, if you would please roll me a perception.
Thank you. Where's my thingamajig? Having to constantly tab in and out because it won't give me a window.
Uh-oh.
As we were devising this plan, did
Oh god.
It's a good plan. Good plan.
does anybody have a way to get ropes off of him?
I have a
without
dagger.
Going near him.
No.
Without going near him?
Unless you would like me to insult his ropes. I don't know.
I could.
I mean,
I-
you
I
already
could
put the little
possibly-
joke.
Like
I
a
would
little
Potentially-
mouse.
Wait. Can I potentially do that?
No.
Waverly.
I believe that's
I
the target creature.
Can I wait?
Can I
Waverly-
untie them from a distance using mage hand?
Yes.
oh,
Ding,
okay.
ding, 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 ding.
That'll work.
Invisible mage hand.
Invisible mage hand. So that is a possibility. Yes, it certainly is. Now, Dusk, you're not sure what you saw, but it is the most interesting thing ever. It's better than a laser pointer, 3 times better than like a little mouse, cuter than Waverly. Not sure what it is, but it's over there, and you want to look at it. Please. You've made a more direct line towards Leosin, and you can see as you get closer that he is bound to a stake, arms tied up in a most uncomfortable fashion so that his weight is hanging from them. All sorts of bad things have happened to this fellow. You note that the area just south, the tents to the south, are probably the nicest tents other than this large one up here. And the snoring is of much finer quality. These are refined gentlemen and ladies.
Snore very delicately.
They snore delicately.
Does snoring work like that?
The snoring does work like that. Snoring is known to run in that sort of fashion.
It's very much like.
But yes, that area seems to be a much higher class of resting people. Now, each of these tents, you would guess, holds 3, 4, 5 people. Certainly a number if any were disturbed. Dusk, on that note, could you roll me either a stealth if you're trying to be sneaky, or a deception if you're trying to walk like you own it?
My rolls have not been good tonight, but let's try with another stealth because I have the best bits with those. Okay, 14's not bad.
14 is not bad. And as you draw up in that area, you notice that sitting in front of the tent here is a guardsman. He looks half asleep, but awake enough that if you got much closer, he might be wondering where your stumbling butt is going. Anybody, if you could start in motion once more, or converse as you like.
So is there anyone? So I'm about 100 feet away from the prisoner, and I'm about a little over 100 feet away from these guards here.
Yep.
Now these guards, do they look alert?
They look very alert, but they look like they are patrolling this big tent. Not so much worried about you folk.
I only have to get
Yet.
within 30 feet of him.
Then we need to get you 30 feet closer.
Okay. Now I will ask, walking like you own it, crew. What are you feigning doing as you're standing in the middle of the dimly lit area? I mean, they can see you. You're right there.
So if I'm going to take the lead on this one,
You might want to.
yeah, if it's all right with everyone else.
Yeah, I guess that was part of the plan. We didn't figure out a way to get him a message without coming next to him.
Well, he's unconscious.
I mean, when we get within 60 feet, I can healing word him.
I can healing word him too, but
Okay.
what I think what Talise is doing is she's kind of pulling Valandra along by the hand and kind of like giggling, laughing, occasionally humming, like some kind of pretty tune. They're just having a good time, like kind of falling all over each other, like pulling Waverly nearer to her side and just patting her on the head and like saying things in Draconic that sound very drunk, like, "You're one of the finest little kobolds I've ever seen in my entire life." Like things like that.
Okay.
Things like that.
Draconic with an Irish accent. Yes.
With an Irish accent.
Irish. Fair enough.
It's very heavily accented.
It's iconic. It's iconic.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm taking it.
I like it. So that is certainly a ploy. Let's see how well that comes across. I'm going to say that's probably on the performance level.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And would we now here's my question. I hate asking for it. Would we be getting advantage because I'm literally pulling people into the performance with me?
No, because I don't think they knew what was going on leading into this.
All right, fair enough.
Valandra, Waverly, can you honestly say you would know how to help with this? Or are you just sort of slack-jawing it there? Not that it's probably going to matter.
I don't really need the help.
The most koboldish laugh I can manage.
Okay. Kobold laugh it is. Now, Chloe, I see you've hung back a little bit. What are you doing back there?
Wondering why we didn't figure out a plan ahead of time. I guess just kind of wandering and being drunk. We can't go straight up to him.
Take it down, baby.
Okay. So Chloe continues following along. The guards are eyeing you. Just keeping an eye on what's going on, but not moving in your direction. Just they seem to be concerned with this tent. You're not near this tent, so whatever you're doing is someone else's problem, perhaps. What are you guys doing now?
We're getting closer, right? How close did you want to be, Valandra? Or Waverly?
I need to be 30 feet.
So we're getting about 40 feet closer, I think.
Okay.
What is happening here? We need to be about there, yeah.
So wait,
about here.
Is the plan to untie an unconscious person that's tied to a stick? Because he's going to slump down, isn't he? I assume he's in an upright-ish position, or no?
He is in an upright position.
I can heal him first.
You might want to heal him first.
That
Just
would
so he does-
also create some kind of light of some sort, wouldn't it? Or some visual effect.
Healing word does not need to create a light.
All right, go for it
The verbal is the only component.
I
just need to say a word.
The only
Dawn
thing is,
Dawn and Joey are definitely more than 100 feet away, right? Being up and over.
Yes, they're 120 feet away or so.
Okay. Just double checking. Spell quick. Pretty sure it's only 100.
Or do we want to get a little closer? Good lord.
120 feet.
We could get a little closer and potentially catch them if they're not really paying attention to us, and they've bought the performance of us being drunk.
Drunkenly go up and go like, "Oh, look at this guy! Look at
Can
spit on the ground."
We could go pretend like we're we're laughing at him.
theoretically could message wake him up?
Yeah.
After he's been healed, probably.
Because he
Okay,
could I forgot I took a message last week. He could actually try to warn the guy, being like,
Yeah, because
don't freak out.
he doesn't need to be healed to hear a message.
But he's unconscious.
Yes.
But
to
he's
be
unconscious. He needs to be conscious to hear a message.
True.
And he needs magical healing to become conscious.
Yeah.
The target.
Sorry, I thought Casey said he
Doesn't
could hear
say
the
they have-
message.
No,
I was just wondering if he could-
that could
wake
wake him
him
up if he was asleep. He is unconscious.
Gotcha.
Okay.
He's
So-
currently at 0 hit points.
So healing message and then mage hand won't I?
Sounds good. If he the moment he looks awake, I think Edgar's gonna start flying around again to get like a better look at
Okay.
within like the 100 feet, so Dawn can actually see him waking up if he wakes up, and then shoot a message at him.
Chloe,
Okay.
why are you so far back?
All right. So the healing seems to take effect. You can see him shift slightly, move his head around a little more alertly. And then what is the message?
Just trying to see what he could say.
Mhm.
I mean, Nessim sent us.
Tell
Yeah.
who sent us that we're here to rescue him.
We're about to cut him loose. Don't drop to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could remain standing, don't panic.
The drunken
Here to help
ladies in
you.
front of you are here to help.
He could shoot a couple short it's a cantrip, so
Yep.
every
And he
couple
can talk
seconds.
back. He can talk
Yes.
back.
We've been
Wait.
sent to get you. Do not panic.
Don't drop to the ground.
Yeah, try to remain standing.
Wait, that was the wrong person.
Well, that's interesting.
All right, let's try that again. Dawn. Waverly, because you're close enough, you hear him saying that out loud.
Okay,
Murmuring.
that's the excuse we're using. Sure.
Yeah. He's a little punchy, so you hear that, and then he realizes he can just brain it to someone.
Hold on, let me send.
I got homemade pizza delivered to me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm not sure how that works. That seems like an oxymoron, but okay.
Does it,
So those who've seen Leosin wake up, you can see him slowly shaking his head from side to side.
Hmm. I hear tippy-tapping.
Secret messages flit about through the sky.
Dawn, what are you doing? Dawn, you gotta pay attention. The group's like right next to it. Dawn, stop whispering to yourself.
he just kind of like shoots you a look.
What are you doing? What? This isn't the time for talking to yourself.
Then he is going to shoot a message towards Therese, since she seems to be heading the whole thing. It just says he wants to stay.
He can't stay.
He's gathering information.
Like this?
Look, we can't come back. He's got to go now.
What?
What does he expect to do all bound up and captured like this?
Therese is like kind of motioning like Dawn to get closer. I'm sorry, Dusk. Sorry, twinsies.
He's coming along.
And with Dusk next to her, she's whispering, "Okay, as soon as Waverly cuts his bonds, you need to go grab him and go up those that damn rope. Because he's saying he wants to stay, and we got to get out of here."
Well, I'm ready to go.
Everybody agree with me? Because except for Chloe, who's hanging out way back.
Dawn,
If we leave
what's
him
going on?
here, he's going to die, and
I know.
his information is not going to be good to anybody.
Yes, I know. Which is why you're going to untie him, and Dusk's going to take him up those ropes.
And Dawn is just going to finally come out of it and look over to Joey. He's like, I was talking to him. He doesn't want to leave. He's gathering information.
Good.
They're not
Great.
listening.
Let him fucking stay here then. Who
They're
gives a
not
shit?
listening to me.
And Therese
Well, start killing.
tells Dusk, be prepared for him to try and make a noise. Make sure he doesn't.
I mean, I can knock him out, but I don't wanna.
More like put your hand over his mouth. There's other options than your fist.
I mean, to be fair, my
Just
fist
totally
comes-
lost my accent.
All right. So for some reason, I'm going to bring up the turn order.
Oh no.
And I'm going to ask everybody to give their icons a click and add themselves to the initiative, please.
Great. We're all gonna die. I'm so
Well,
confident.
Dawn is going to send one more
Oh God.
to Lays.
Wow, you guys are
and just be
killing
like,
it on initiatives.
You can't force him to leave if he doesn't leave.
Okay.
That's what
doesn't
you
want-
think.
How are we gonna
Come on,
get an
bro.
unconscious person up a rope quickly up the
he's
side
not-
of a hill?
He's not unconscious. Or
Yeah.
oh,
He's either
Gotcha.
going to be unconscious or he's not going to leave.
Go.
I think I understand why we're about an initiative.
All right. So
There it goes.
we got it.
We
Let's see
should
here.
come down.
All right. Time is passing. You guys have been standing there. You stopped being drunk and giggly. You started being conspiratorial. So, what are you guys doing right now?
Mm. Well,
Dawn's just trying to be like, abort! But nobody's listening. So,
oh, well,
So-
if some people.
So I'll do the countdown then. Therese, are you doing anything right now?
I'm just gonna hold because I've just been giving instructions to people because I want to go with the plan. Get him out. Get out of here. I will hold. I can't hold a movement, can I? Because that would be my action is to haul ass out of dodge.
Okay. So you're on a hold at the moment, Chloe.
Not really knowing what that group up there is doing, I would kind of look in the general direction as I'm walking around trying to act drunk, I guess. Look in the general direction that I know Dawn and Joey to be in and just kind of see if I can see any of their abort, neck cutting, slashing signals. But I mean, I don't know if there's any light emitting from any of the camps nearby at all, because I would
yeah,
probably...
he would be sending a message to each of them, but I think the only other person he could hit is Waverly.
Got it. So Chloe,
Okay.
no, there's just no light up at the top of the plateau. The firelight and the torchlight just doesn't have that amount of reach. So even if they are gesticulating, they're in the dark as they're doing it unless they make noise.
So what happened was Valandra healed him and then sent the message. And did he move at all? Like shake his head no or anything?
He's been slowly shaking his head no.
Yeah, I'll kind of like walk 5 feet closer and be like, oh, look at over here. Look over this way.
Very subtle.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3.
So, Dusk, anything you're doing?
Well, Dusk is happy to continue playing the part of someone who's drunken and down to party.
Okay.
So she's got a flute. And she may as
God.
well start playing it and get people to dance.
It's 5 a.m.
They're all sleeping. They're all sleeping.
Not anymore.
Dusk, go ahead and give me a
Oh, God.
performance. And as the performance begins, Waverly, what are you doing?
Oh my god. I don't even know.
It was all going so well.
It was going so well, and then he didn't want to be rescued, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, trying to distract people, which is what Dusk's trying to do, so let's hope this works.
Well, Talace did tell you, Waverly, to cut him loose.
This is true. Okay, mage hand at him,
And
untying the ropes.
Okay.
Bad.
And Dusk, that's a jaunty tune, I think. You were going for a dance song, correct? Something lively?
I guess so. I mean,
Well, no, I'm
anything
asking
that's
you.
just, like,
I heard you. Okay.
Because the thing is, just something fun that would be appropriate for like a night of carousing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Mage hand, and then I'm going to start dancing.
Okay. Mage hand and start dancing. Absolutely. So I don't know how to handle these kind of situations. So Waverly Mage Hand does work. It does loose the binds on Leosin. He remains standing there, just eyeing you guys as you start dancing. Dawn, what are you doing?
Could he shoot him? I don't know. Can he reach Dusk? I don't think he can. He's just face palm. What are you doing?
Okay.
Otherwise, just hold and wait to start firing because
All right.
like he'll hold an action in the moment somebody looks like they're going to attack one of them, or like they get like a fight starts.
Fair enough.
Depending on the situation, he may or may not fire, but we'll come to it when that happens.
Got it. Joey, anything
Eldritch
from you
Blast.
up there? Hold Eldritch Blast. Valandra.
Valandra will just a moment. Cast. Let's see. In 30 feet. Gonna cast Bless on myself, Waverly, and let's go him.
And give him a bless. All right. Blesses apply.
And just try and continue acting drunk, I guess.
Okay. So Talaze, that brings it back to the top of the order for you. Now Leosin is standing there. You can see he is now freed, but he's had the sense of mind to keep his hands close enough to the stake that it doesn't look like he's been untied. You can see his eyes going left and right as he is surrounded by a camp of cultists and guard drakes and veterans and many bad things. What instructions might you be giving him, if any? Uh-oh. You?
Oh,
Are you
Is it-
muted, Ash?
is there mute or connection issue?
Oh,
Ooh.
I was totally muted. I've been like
Oh.
talking and
Oh,
oh wow. Oh, the things that no one heard me say.
How the best RP happens.
It's all good. It was all
What
good.
would you like to do there?
Jesus Christ. She would like to melt through the earth because this is all gone to hell. All gone to hell in a handbasket. Well, since somebody's playing music and we've started dancing, and Talace's just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening to me right now. So she's going to start improvising a song along with
Okay.
the tune that is being played. So we're gonna I don't know if this will work if we're in initiative order or not, but everybody who's close enough to hear, so she's kind of improvising a song where it's did anybody ever see Mickey and the Beanstalk?
Really long time ago.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
If you-
a whole
if you-
lifetime ago.
If you kind of vaguely remember, the harp sang instructions to Mickey that sounded kind of, normal. She's like, in the right vest pocket, you'll find the key. Okay.
Ooh, I remember that.
So she's making up a song that goes with the tune and singing along, trying to go against the she's like talking about going southeast where freedom lies and and to hurry on towards that destiny sort of thing. That kind of thing that's happening. Now I know this takes 10 minutes to do. I don't know if we have that kind of time, but if we do have that kind of time, she's definitely directing at least one of those charms at this dude so that he will listen to her.
I don't know that you're gonna make it 10 whole minutes through this song. But as you start playing this jaunty tune and
At the
encouraging,
very least, can I do a persuasion check?
you may certainly do a persuasion check. Absolutely may.
I mean,
Okay.
the worst thing is they might just think we're drunk and tell us to shut up.
Yeah, and you know what? From the elegant tense, you hear someone, I'm gonna eat until I die.
There.
Hello there. Persuasion. So yes, Leozen looks exhausted, but he nods along and, kind of gives the head bob, and you see his fingers do like the countdown 3, 2, 1. And then are you doing anything else?
Lordy Lou, I don't know. I guess not.
Okay.
I guess not. I guess that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. The veterans are looking a little like, come on, move it along. Chloe.
Yeah,
Chloe?
no. I'm here. I'm here. Just realizing how big this map is now, and apparently I
big map.
dashed last time and I didn't realize it. So I'm gonna move my whole dash through here as I'm like skip dancing to the music and passively keeping an eye on the party, but clearly kind of making my way out. And just,
Okay.
I assume everybody around here is intense. There's nobody out, right?
Nobody out. Everybody's intense. You see an occasional foot or a hand sticking out, but
Yeah, and I see it might be intentional or not, but there looks to be like well-worn paths in between the tents. I'm just sticking to that and just kind of drunkenly stumbling around and trying to
good.
act stupid and not aware when I hopefully am.
picking up on some of them secrets. The veterans still just sort of grumbling at you. Dusk.
Well, as long as it seems to be at the most just annoying people, she's going to keep going with it.
Okay.
Although she is going to be like dancing or like half moving around as she plays the flute closer to him
Okay.
because it will help to be close to him for what's about to probably happen.
Now, as you pass in front of him and head a little more towards the guard tower, Leosin all of a sudden gets a little sketchy-eyed and he looks a little confused and he sort of bobs his head backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's just trying to make it so that when she runs, it's like a straight run.
Okay. And Waverly, what are you doing? And just as a heads up, it's 25 or so feet per movement. So most movement, you'll get about an icon, maybe 2 worth. Waverly?
Did you mute too?
We got a lot of mutes today.
She doesn't look muted.
All right, we'll put Waverly on hold for 1 second.
Jesse,
Is-
are you there?
Oh,
Mm.
Uh-oh.
maybe it's
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, what was going on?
All right. Singing and dancing has been happening. Leosian is free and has been convinced to join you guys in a run, perhaps, for the ropes. But nobody's headed for the ropes yet.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
So wait, are there ropes where Joey and Dawn is, or are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Okay.
our escape route.
Sorry, people are phoning me and it's really rude. And it's phone calls that I have to take.
Mm.
Okay, Waverly's just gonna go along with what's going on here. Kind of dance her way over this direction.
Why?
Just,
Why are you going?
That's not the way we want to go.
oh, okay, sorry.
Down here.
Go
This way.
towards Jory and Dawn.
Starting for the ropes.
Okay. I'm gonna hang out
Uh,
here over by Edgar then.
Fair enough. A little too much drinking is part of the act, perhaps, amongst the orphans. And that brings up the last veteran and then Leosin. And Leosin watches you guys start to make your move, and then he breaks and runs as fast as he can towards the ropes. Now, as he does so, the guard's like, "What's this?" And you know it's going to get a little messy. Dawn, what are you doing?
Pretty much the same thing. Gonna hold action until something bad happens.
All right. Joey, anything from you?
Hold Eldritch Blast.
Hold Eldritch Blast. Valandra,
She'll just start moving towards the ropes. So that's
After him.
Yes, that's the idea. She's like you're reading my mind.
about there, I think. And that's a double move. So
that's all right. That's good. And now to Lays. And I heard some whispering commentary. Was that whisper a loud whisper?
No, that was me talking out of character.
All right.
But we heard someone take notice, correct? That was
Yes.
something that was said out loud.
The
So-
guards are aware.
So Talace is going to pick up on that, obviously, since we heard it, and she's just gonna roll with that, going, "Hey, what the hell?" and just chase after him for a full dash
good.
movement.
Of course. Go ahead and give me a deception. Go ahead and give me a deception along with that chase, if you would.
Oh, you absolutely can have a deception. Here we go. Don't fail me now. Oh shit.
I mean, maybe they'll roll low.
How
They
far can I
might.
go here?
but there's 3 of them, and none of them
Oh.
are taken in by it. Little too convenient.
Full dash move though.
And she forgot to slur.
How do you
that's-
slur a hay?
Hey!
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 But in an excited way?
Hey!
See, that's
Hey!
not slurred. Those are not slurred.
So on that, Dawn is going to get a crossbow bolt fired. at
Dawn or
her.
Dusk?
Dusk.
Excuse me,
Dusk.
dusk. It's dusk. Sorry.
I was like, that's a bit far.
Standard heavy crossbow attack. You are within range. 11
Ooh.
piercing damage struck. And you hear a chain rattle as he throws a chain to the ground, unleashing a puppy. Puppy will join next round. Chloe.
I don't think we want to meet the puppy.
Probably not.
It's a good puppy.
No one around me is awake yet, right?
No one around you has responded yet. Here is the puppy, by the way.
Take another dash.
Oh. Time to
Alright.
Mume.
It looks hard to pet.
It is possibly hard to pet. Dusk, as the nearest target and the only one within easy range, you receive another crossbow bolt shot at you. And 16
It does not hit.
does not hit. A miss by the veteran. You can hear him reload as another chain hits the ground. Dusk, it is now your turn.
Well, time to Mume. She's gonna run.
Go, go.
All the 120 whatever feet you could run.
Yeah, she can like just Mume all the way over to where Leo is. Just keep on his tail. I got him.
It's a good effort, but they don't seem to be buying it at this point.
Oh no, she seems like I got him as in like I'm watching his back, not
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
grabbing him.
There's a lot of confusion. The camp is coming awake, though, as alerts are being sounded. Waverly, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Run!
Just-
Run!
Run!
Just move to the
run!
ropes.
How far can I go? Okay. I can get there.
Fair enough. Waverly, after a moment's hesitation, starts tearing off. Veteran sights along. You are out of range, so this is at disadvantage. Valandra, a heavy crossbow shot at you. 11, I believe, is going to miss.
No.
Leozen, very interested in getting the heck out of Dodge. That's not Leozen, that's Leozen. 45, and then about halfway up, he manages to scramble using the rope. He's rather quick. Dawn, that brings it to you. The guards seem to be maintaining their position at the tent, though they have unleashed the drakes.
Do
the
the drakes look like they're about to run?
They look like they're about to tear off towards you people. Absolutely.
It'll be at a disadvantage, but he'll shoot at the first. Which 2 are the ones that are free? These ones?
At this point, all 3 of them have been freed.
Because I don't. None of them are on the turn order.
They're not yet. Top of
yes,
the turn order, they'll
so-
get added.
He will shoot at a disadvantage at this guy.
Okay.
Try to trip him up a bit.
Okay.
Let me disadvantage myself. Where are you?
That is a no. Joey, as an Eldritch Blast rips through the night, what are you doing? Wait, how do you have disadvantage of that?
It's out of range.
Out of range, you just can't hit with an Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay. Then
Yep, sorry.
never mind.
It goes and it fizzles out just a little short.
How far can you throw a lit torch?
Usually about 60 feet. You're a little higher, so you might be able to get 80 to 90. Assuming you're throwing forward.
I'm gonna light a torch and hold an action to throw the torch at that tent.
Oh, okay. Torch
idea.
lit. You are now illuminated.
Trigger will be if I see things approaching Chloe with hostile intent.
Okay. So let's tick over to Valandra.
So I'm at the bottom of the turn order, so I can't ready an action. Is that right? Or does ready?
Ready holds until your next turn.
Oh, okay. So I'll ready an action to just double move until Talace is further out of there, because she's squishier than I am.
Okay.
So if there are crossbow bolts coming, I want to be the target.
Understood. All right, so we're going to come to the top of the turn order. Hang on a second, Talace. We might have some very quick drakes. Let's find out. 1, 2.
Very
Hey, look at that. You were all like doubting the drakes.
I well doubted too.
Amazing.
It's Gardrake number 3. Gardrake number 3 hustles after you. But it's a big map. Talaze, that brings it round to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the rest of the camp begins to stir.
I am going to very quickly. Yeah, very quickly. I'm going to just kind of cast a look over at Valandra and go, "You're amazing. Watch my back. Don't die," and give her an inspiration.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to dash for those goddamn ropes.
Fair
Is
enough.
that a D6?
That's a D6 added to after a roll of
Okay.
either a saving throw or an attack roll.
Yeah.
You can add that on.
Yeah, I know how it works. I just didn't know what it was at this point because it
Yep.
changes based on level.
D6 still at the moment. And
Okay,
Talaze, if you want to go ahead and move yourself,
Yep.
Veteran is going to take the Valandra. Valandra, you are moving after Talaze. That was the plan?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and scoot yourself along. You will receive a heavy crossbow shot at disadvantage. An 18.
That just hits.
That just hits 10 points
Ooh.
of piercing damage. Leozen makes his way the rest of the way up. Chloe, you're amongst a lot of bad people. What are you doing up there?
Well, as far as I know, they're all sleeping. Is anybody looking at me right now?
They're not looking at you yet. They're more interested in the people making a loud escape.
Oh my god, you could just get away.
Just go.
Yeah,
Backtrack up.
I'll just say something to the effect of, "Oh my god, what the hell's going on over there?" And move this way.
Drunk as hell. I love it.
All right. If you could do me a favor, and you may choose stealth or deception or performance. You may choose from the range, but I need one of those. And your target number is a 13. Oh yes.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, you are into it. You're praise Tiamatting. You know the hand signs. You're all over it.
It's either a 5 or a nat 20.
When she's on, she's on. The veteran taking a shot at disadvantage at Valandra. 10's not going to do. Dusk.
Well, Dusk is, well, the people have already noticed them, so she's just gonna keep running.
Okay. Are you still playing your flute?
Oh my god.
Okay, just checking.
No way.
Little chase music.
Oh
So
god.
Dusk, go ahead and make the move. Guard Drake is going to start chasing you guys. About to there. Waverly, what are you up to?
We're getting to the ropes now.
All right. Up the ropes you go.
Up the ropes.
It's a bit of a climb. It's about a turn to get up to the top of the ropes. And during that time, a veteran's going to take a shot. Valandra, you're still the biggest, bestest target. Disadvantage.
Oh, that was it.
And the 10's going to be
Yeah.
a miss. Yeah, 10 and a 6 are both misses. Drake is going to just come running up. Dawn. Seems like the plan is working, except Valandra's a little bit lagging behind. What are you doing?
Going to attempt scoot to a bit further to the edge, this way, and fire at this head drake here.
Alrighty.
Do believe. Ah, will he reach? Looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it close enough.
Oh. Or not.
No. No.
Smashes into the ground right in front of them. Hopeful deception.
All
Accident.
right. Joey, you've got a held
And-
action. It looks like Chloe's just blending in with the crowd. So it comes around to you holding the torch, which is unfortunately illuminating your team coming up the wall, helping the people who don't have dark sight, but also making targets. What you doing?
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and throw that torch now.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. A 9 is not going to do noticeable damage to the tent, though there is a torch in proximity to the tent. It's probably not going to catch anytime soon. Joey, any additional action movement for you?
Actually, no. I'll be staying here to pull up people.
Okay. Joey starts hauling folk up. Valandra.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll just move pretty much directly in front of Tulace there.
Okay.
So, and that was about 30 feet, I think. So I'm gonna cure wounds myself, actually, I think.
Okay. Go ahead
Since
and pull up the heal.
Since I am the target.
Oh my.
Nice. Okay,
You are
good.
the target. Unfortunately, the guard drakes can just not reach you. Cultists start piling out of their tents, looking around to see what's going on. 20, 30 of them.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
As they see you starting to scamper your way up the wall. I don't know why he's grayed out like that. But
Usually it would be they're on the
Telays. No, I think it's because I'm
Tiamat.
I think I have their role hidden by accident.
Ah.
Figure
Okay.
out what I did wrong there. But Telays, bottom of the wall, you got a little bit of a climb ahead of you. What you doing?
Yeah, gonna get to that rope and climb up it.
Climb that rope. And that's going to bring up the veterans with their crossbows, still firing on Valandra. The target. Disadvantage, 7 no. The Ozian up and clear looks to you. Where are we going? What? This is not what I wanted.
Yeah, we don't have any idea either. Just get everybody.
Okay. He just looks at you stunned. Chloe, sauntering your way through the tents, I think.
Yeah, literally the same thing as before. Like, oh my god, look, that looks terrible over there. God.
They bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Veteran,
Where are the horses?
heavy crossbow. Where are the horses?
Yes.
The horses are down in the animal paddock. Over in this direction.
Okay.
Let's see here. Veteran, heavy crossbow, shooting of Valandra, disadvantage. No. Dusk.
And no.
Zoom.
No hit.
Guard. Just not going to be able to catch up.
The walk. She's a cat, and cats don't give a fuck.
Waverly. All right, you guys have held up at this point. There's going to be another crossbow bolt coming at you, Valandra, but it's not going to be enough to slow you down as you guys make your way up the hillside. You quickly draw up the ropes behind you, so they've got at least a little more difficult of a climb, giving you a bit of a head start to run where?
Away.
Away. Just away? Back to Greenest in a particular direction? What you guys doing?
Are we taking this guy back to Greenest?
Isn't that the plan?
I think that's the plan, yeah. Let's do that
Okay.
then.
Find somewhere possibly to hide because they will be coming after us.
Oh,
It's
yes.
true.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
All
And
right.
if we're running like hell, they're gonna be able to track us.
So it sounds like the plan is to run like heck. Is that the right description of the plan?
I want to know exactly where the horses are.
Did
Like, exactly.
Hang on, I will show you exactly where the horses
hey
are.
Waverly, did you happen to spy a place to hide in your scouting?
The horses are stabled exactly here.
Oh.
So they're over by the kobolds, where they can eat some of the vegetation.
That's not helpful at
Guys.
all.
No, guys, look, we're on top of the plateau. They can't easily get up here. We have time if we run up along the plateau, out of sight, or even just send a decoy somehow off. I mean, if Edgar carries a torch off in the night along the
Even as you start saying that, you see how many people are starting to pour out of these tents, and
Yeah.
even more how many of the kobolds are swarming.
We just
It
gotta
would
go.
be-
Sorry,
would
we
be-
Run!
gotta
Just
Run!
go.
Run!
Go.
Run! Run!
Go.
Run! 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 Run!
All right.
Go and don't stop.
Nim.
All right. So there is some zooming. Leosin hustling alongside you. His health boosted by the healing that you have provided. You guys, if someone could take the fate of the party into their hands, roll me
Oh,
a
God.
d20 and do not roll a 1. Very important you don't roll a 1.
Good
I'm
God.
not doing it this time.
I will. I
Very
will.
important.
I will
God.
take.
I will
There are
use-
19 other numbers.
Use
you can
inspiration.
Use your
Use my
inspiration.
inspiration.
Can I use inspiration on this?
You may use inspiration on this. It can give you advantage on
Yes!
any
Oh my
roll.
God! Don't do double lows.
run. It's not a 1.
That's not a 1.
What's the other one?
Yeah. What's your other roll?
Oh, okay.
That is an acceptable pass. Please mark off that inspiration has been used for whoever was donating the inspiration to that one. You do make your way back to Greenest. It is a long and hard run. You know that at least some of the cultists have horses that they could be riding to chase you on. You know some of them are a little fresher than you are, but you do manage to stay ahead of them as you make your way back. Leosin is barely keeping up. He must be a phenomenally fit man to be able to just keep up with you guys in the shape that he is in, but he does. Once you arrive at Greenest, he gasps out a quick explanation before falling to sleep. And I will provide that explanation and a little bit of conversation throughout the week, and then we will pick up back in Greenest. Congratulations. You have rescued Leosin, the monk, from the grasp of the cult of the dragon. However, you do know that at least 8 or 9 prisoners were left behind, some of which may be citizens of Greenest, if you care.